Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today I just have to talk about the Crown Deck Tarot. I stumbled upon this deck purely by accident on Etsy one day. I was actually searching for a specific brand of magenta watercolor pigment, which is really hard to get now if you live in the United States. I was about to escape out of Etsy when the Crown Deck caught my eye. I had never heard of this deck before, and there really wasn't a lot of information about it on Etsy. So I do what I typically do before committing to another tarot deck. I went looking for a walkthrough or a tarot review on YouTube and found absolutely nothing about this deck. So of course my curiosity is piqued at this point, and I Google it. I do end up finding the Crown Deck website, at which point I end up camping out on this website most of the night, just gazing at the artwork. And I kid you not, I fell asleep looking at the Four of Swords. The next morning I ordered the deck. I went back later to watch the short film about the deck because I'm always interested in the artist's creative process. I just wanted to know more about the illustrator Christina Hale and the designer Kathryn Bucher. I'm probably mispronouncing her name. I also did something I typically don't do. I reached out to them. I reached out to Christina first to just let her know how I felt about her art. I felt completely ridiculous doing it, but I had to. And then later I reached out to Kathryn with a question regarding my order. And you guys, look at what they sent me. So my original order consisted of just the Crown Deck Reader's Edition, which I already was really excited about. I was also happy to learn that it would be arriving the week of my birthday. And then when it did arrive, I was a little confused by the bulk of the package. It was just a lot heavier and a lot bigger than a single tarot deck. The walk home from the mailbox, which is a ways down the road, was so long, and I was walking really fast just so I could get home and open my package. So in addition to the reader's deck, they also sent me this amazing coffee table edition of the Crown Deck, which is incredible. They also sent me this incredible, this beautiful full color glossy exhibition book and tarot companion. The book includes a separate art print signed by Christina, and I'm not going to lie, I really, really wanted this book. And in the back of my mind, I hope to go back at some point and purchase it. Never in a million years did I ever expect any of these items to be included in my package. I was so touched and so overwhelmed by their generosity, I could hardly find the words to express my gratitude. I'm a little embarrassed to admit I felt a little emotional about the whole thing. I still do, but here's where it gets weird, but in a good way. Kathryn, the designer of the deck, who also manages the website and the merchandise, didn't realize I had a YouTube channel. I never mentioned it. Not that it would have mattered anyway. My channel is super small. She also didn't realize when she pulled the exhibition book from the shelf that the included print was the very artwork I discussed with Christina in a previous email, the Queen of Staves. I had expressed to Christina that this was one of my favorite art pieces, and Kathryn, unaware of this, just grabbed the book on top, which just happened to have the Queen of Staves in it. How bizarre is that? I mean, no wonder I was a little emotional. Anyway, I still can't wrap my head around the whole thing, but isn't she incredible? I mean, look at her. She is so beautiful and so powerful. I absolutely love her. Anyway, at the time of this video, the Crown Deck Tarot is still available for purchase, along with the exhibition book and the coffee table deck. I will leave purchase links below. I will also include timestamps so you can just jump ahead to different segments because I don't know how long this video is going to take. And with that, let's get started. I wanted to talk about the book really quick. This is not your typical tarot companion. The book was designed to accompany the exhibition of Christina Hale's original tarot drawings at the Robert Berman Gallery in Los Angeles. This happened sometime in the summer of 2022, which must have been amazing. The glossy pages include full color reproductions of every card, so it is gorgeous. It also includes information about the artwork, the symbolism, the meaning of the card. This was all written by Kathryn, and I do love this part, but I really enjoyed reading the preface. This includes a little about their story, their friendship, their creative process, and their connection with tarot. I'm actually going to include a link to the short film about the Crown deck if you're interested. I really enjoyed it. I've actually watched it more than once. And then in the back of the book, there's more information about the deck and caring for the cards. They also include information about the Crown deck divination layout, and that's just like a variation of the Celtic cross spread. And then there's instructions on how to play the French tarot game, which I thought was really cool. The exhibition book includes an art print, which is signed by Christina. The prints and the book are actually numbered. Both decks are housed in tuck boxes, and it is a snug fit for both decks. I had to really be careful pulling out the decks. It's a cute design. The cardstock for the reader's deck is about 110 pounds-ish with a UV coating. The cards have this lovely satin matte finish. The cards are somewhat thin, but sturdy and very flexible, perfect for shuffling. I love shuffling this deck. I haven't been able to stop shuffling this deck since I got it. As far as the size, let's compare it really quick to a standard size tarot, or what we think of as a standard size tarot. And you can see it's a little bit shorter and a little bit wider. There is a Crown deck limited edition, which is numbered. Only 10 decks were created. That edition is a bit larger than the reader edition, and it does have a heavier cardstock. The limited edition is housed in a handmade oak and walnut box. It includes an original sketch signed by the artist. I would love to have it, but I am not that kind of collector, meaning I have to touch my decks. I have to use them, and I would want to use it. I know it, limited edition or not. The cardstock for the coffee table edition is 150 pounds with a UV coating. The cards are quite large, as you can see, and probably more for display, but I love seeing the enlarged artwork. It is so beautiful, which is why I will be using this one for the tarot walkthrough. The back design is the same for both decks. They have a reversible mirror image of a crown and sacred heart, which sort of have a tattoo vibe, I think. I didn't find any information regarding the symbolism of the card backs, but the crown typically represents higher consciousness, divine authority. It often symbolizes Keter on the Kabbalistic tree of life. And then the heart beneath symbolizes wisdom. It's governed by compassion, love, and core truth. And then we have the open radiating hands. Open hands traditionally symbolize receptivity and energy transmission, while the radiating light suggests spiritual illumination and the channeling of unseen energy. And then we have the eyes on the knuckles. This could be associated with evil eye protection. Eyes in general also point to clairvoyance, heightened perception, and seeing beyond the physical. The cards have white borders with a heavy black outline, numbers, and titles, which I feel brings out the line work and the art. The artwork is hand-drawn with pencil, pen, ink, colored pencil and acrylic on 9 by 12 paper, and I am completely mesmerized by it. From what I understand, the first printing of the coffee table deck only put out 50 decks. I'm not sure if mine is one of those or not. As I mentioned before, I'm using the coffee table edition of the Crown deck for this walkthrough. I love the colors Christina uses in this deck. You can see that some of the colors are very soft. This must be pencil, and then they're also bold. I also really like her use of white space and color contrasting. Isn't this Empress beautiful? Gorgeous. This deck has a gritty urban vibe, I think, but there's also a lot of animals and things found in nature. So strength is at 8, but I wouldn't strictly categorize this deck as a Rider-Waite-Smith deck. It seems like it pulls from various tarot traditions, but I also feel like it encompasses even more than that. And some of the card titles and suit names vary from the Rider-Waite-Smith tradition. And I think they're more reminiscent of the older tarot decks and playing cards. And I actually really like that index. I love her clouds. What caught my attention when I saw this deck on Etsy was the red. The white and the red contrast. That's what struck me. Look at the hyenas in the double card. We have the hands again on the tower. This is so beautiful. I really like this Judgment card. Okay, so let's look at the wands, which she calls staves. I love this. I really love this Four of Wands. How could I have never heard of this deck? I don't understand. Why is no one talking about it? It's just stunning. I am really attracted to the raw honesty of the images, but there's also a lot of vulnerability in this deck. And there's my girl, the Queen of Staves. Isn't she amazing? I just love her. I really like the King of Staves. In fact, when I was emailing back and forth with Christina, I said that the Queen of Staves was my favorite, but I also really like the King of Staves. I just think it's incredible. Okay, let's look at the Suit of Cups. And I noticed that unlike the Suit of Wands, the titles and the numbers are in red, similar to the Suit of Hearts in playing cards. I love this Three of Cups. And this Four of Cups is just gorgeous. We have the Five of Cups. I really like this Seven of Cups too. I think it's kind of funny. The Eight of Cups, very cool. The Nine of Cups. This Page of Cups, I love it. She did this with pencil and then she erased. I saw her doing something like this with a different art piece on her video, and this had never occurred to me before. For people that draw, it probably occurred to them, but it didn't occur to me, and I think it's really cool. I really like this Queen of Cups. Let's look at the Suit of Swords. This is such a beautiful card. I would love to have this print, this Four of Swords. I think it is so beautiful. I love everything about it. You see the person up here, and then just all of it. I love everything. The images are so unique. And I'm really so happy they sent me the book because it does explain some of the symbolism for, you know, the cards specifically, or her artwork specifically. We have the Nine of Swords, the Ten of Swords. Look at this Page of Swords. And notice that unlike the Suit of Cups, which I think are associated with the Suit of Hearts, we're back to the black titles, which are associated with spades, I believe. I just love little things like that. Look at this Queen of Swords. Isn't she amazing? Ugh, I love her. Let's look at the Suit of Coins. I really love this Ace of Coins. I think it's beautiful. Look at this. Three of Coins. And then see the titles are in red, like the Suit of Diamonds. Let's go back for a second. I love this Four of Coins. I think it's beautiful. And I love pink elephants. It's a thing. Look at this Seven of Coins. Isn't he great? Eight of Coins. I love this. And I really, really like this Nine of Coins and the dragon and the boon. So good. This was another favorite. I really like this Page of Coins. And if you look closely, you can see her face in the background. There's her eye with the magnifying glass. I just think this card is so cool. And I like this Knight of Coins as well. I think it's beautiful. And then the Queen of Coins. And the King of Coins. So you already know I love this deck. I love Christina's artwork. I think it's amazing. I'm so glad that Kathryn persuaded her to create the artwork for this deck. Many amazing decks were born from COVID, and I think that's amazing in itself. I had actually intended to wait until after I filmed this video to use the Reader's deck. I received it on Monday. I put it in order. I placed it on the shelf until I could do this video today. But by Tuesday morning, I was shuffling this deck and I was immediately attached. I can't really explain the connection I have with this deck, but I am very happy with the readings I've been getting with it so far, including my annual birthday reading. So say hello to my latest soul deck. And believe it or not, I don't have many of those. What are your thoughts on the crown deck? Are you as attracted to the images as I am? And did you know about this deck? Because I certainly did not. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care. Bye.